Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am in the tiny studio crocheting, and I am currently working on a hand towel for my bathroom. Every year, if you're new to the tiny studio, every year I change the color scheme of my bathroom and the overall design of it. And I also, along with that, I crochet my own hand towels for my bathroom, for the primary bathroom. I also crochet towels and things for the kitchen as well, but this is the color of my primary suite bathroom, and my bathroom colors are purple, this beautiful royal purple and gray. So I'm working on that today. I found my hook. Yay. So I am really excited about that. I'm using a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. I love my clover hooks. They're so comfortable. I can work for long periods of time using the clover hooks. And I am also using 100% cotton for this project. Cotton is really good because, when I get ready to put it in the wash machine, it doesn't shrink. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for sustainability, right? Yes. And especially when you're working with your hands and you're crafting, you're artisan, you are, if you're like me, I am into making sure that things last. I'm into, not only are they good and beneficial for my mind, body, and soul, but I want them to be eco-friendly, and I want them to last. Really. Who wants to continuously go out and buy yarn that could crochet things over and over again because of, you know, the first thing that I created was not sustainable. And it's all about being sustainable and being good to the environment, right? Right. So today's conversation as I crochet will be about DEI. DEI. We've had that conversation earlier when we talked about, on Tuesday, when we talked about Tab Brown, and we talked about the efforts that a lot of people are putting in to boycott certain companies and brands that have canceled DEI. And we talked about how it's important that Black Americans, that we think about, or we come up with a strategy before we implement plans to boycott certain companies, because what we don't want to do is we do not want to put our fellow brethren in harm's way, or an economic or financial ruin. We don't want to be responsible for that. We want to make sure that we support them in any endeavor that we possibly can support them. And I say this not as just a consumer, but I say this as a business owner as well. I have a business called Blue Lotus Hill Designs. I've been in business since 2018. I am a fiber textile and jewelry artist. So I create, the things that you see right now, like my teardrop crystal earrings. That is rose quartz, and then the other is amethyst. So I am not new to this. I'm true to this. I shop Black, and I am a Black owned business owner. So um and brand. So when we talk about boycotting, we have to be strategic about it, because we want to protect the Black brands that may be involved in um, may become a casualty of us boycotting certain things. But that is not what we are here for today. We're here to talk about, or ask the question, or have a discussion about DEI, about diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, and affirmative action. And we're here to ask this one simple question. And that question is, where are the white women? Where are the white women? Where are you, white women? Why aren't you speaking up? Where are the white women-led organizations? Where are all the feminists? Where is the National Organization of Women? Where are you guys? Okay, you guys have been mighty, mighty quiet since Trump, or 45, now 47, 34-time convicted felon Donald J. Trump had his most wonderful, wonderful week. You guys have been noticeably silent. While we're African Americans talking about boycotting this and boycotting that, where are you guys at? Where are you people at? Where are you ladies at? What happened? Why are you guys invisible now? This is your time to speak up. And you, as a white woman, may be saying to yourself, what do you mean, Nell? Why should I be speaking up? DEI does not affect me. Affirmative action doesn't help me. This is about you and other people who look like you, Nell, and brown people and minorities and Asians and Latinos and all of them. It's not about me. So, I'm really not affected by any of this. Is that what you're thinking? White women, are you thinking that DEI and affirmative action has nothing to do with you? Well, excuse me, the deafening silence that has been reverberating for the past few months since most companies and corporations here in America have decided to express undying loyalty and fealty to 45, now 47, 34-time convicted felon Donald Trump. You guys' voices have been very, very low. As a matter of fact, I can't hear you. You have been very, very silent. Where are you, white women? Where are you? And like I said, you may be saying to yourself, my white sisterin, you may be saying, well, DEI does not affect me. Affirmative action doesn't help me. Nothing that's happened with the gutting of the civil rights era amendments and acts, that has nothing to do with me. Nell, that's all you. And this is where the conversation is going to turn, because this conversation and what happened last week with Trump's first best week ever endeavors and what's getting ready to happen. Oh, guess what? You, my white sisterin, you are affected by it more so than I, your black counterpart. And you may be saying, how is that so, Nell? Well, let me just break this down for you real quick. The Civil Rights Era acts and movements, okay, and the amendments 13, 14, and 15 were, yes, indeed, spearheaded, campaigned for, and were implemented off the backs of black men and black women, black bodies, all right? But in this country, just that's propped up by white supremacy, that still systemically is full and riddled with racism, okay? Riddled with racism and racist judges, racist politicians. The foundations of the United States of America is systemic racism. So even though we have Amendments 13, 14, 15, we have the Civil Rights Acts, we have the Voting Rights Acts, we had Affirmative Action, Equal Opportunity Acts, we had all those things going on for us. And it appears that black people are winning. The real winners in this were white women. Yes, you, my white sisterin, you guys were the winners. You guys were the ones that these different amendments, these different civil rights acts and amendments, equal rights opportunity, all of those things, laws that were established off the backs and the bloodied bodies of black people, black Americans. You guys were the true beneficiaries of those laws that were created for, by Black people. You. Think about affirmative action. Who were the number one beneficiaries of affirmative action? Well, I can say that, I benefited from affirmative action. So have a lot of other Black people. But the number one group of people who benefited from affirmative action were white women. Yes, indeed. White women by 70% benefited from affirmative action. That's what research says. So when 45, now 47, 34-time convicted felon Donald J. Trump gutted affirmative action, or I should say his Supreme Court gutted affirmative action, that should have rung a bell for you, because you guys, white women, you guys were the ones that benefited the most from affirmative action. Mm-hmm. 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 Truly. Now let's talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, now that is a bell that when you say it and it's rung, people automatically think, oh, that's for Black people. Okay. We don't want no more Black people in our schools. We don't want no more Black people or Latino people, Asian people. We don't want no more minorities in our schools. We want to keep our schools, colleges, and universities purely white. You get in with a legacy key. That's how you're going to get in. And you're going to get in because your ethnicity is white. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the best grades, because you're not. It doesn't mean you're going to be coming necessarily from the best families, because you won't. It doesn't mean you're going to be coming into the system because you are the most intelligent and promising, because you're not. You will be getting in because you're white. And that's what America has come back to today. So when you think about DEI, and you think about what the promise of DEI was, which really came into existence via the murder of George Floyd back in 2020. That's when all of these companies and corporations and colleges and universities really begin to say, listen, we are going to do what we can for you, Black America. We're going to make sure that you get a fair shake, and that you are you can grab hold of the promise of the American dream too. And we're going to make that happen. So we're going to institute DEI programs in all of our businesses, so we can assure you, Black person, that you are going to get that job. You are going to get that education. You are going to break that glass ceiling. We're going to do all of this because we feel guilty about that Derek Chauvin putting his knee in the neck of George Floyd, and it was recorded. It's on video. And we feel really bad that our racism was naked and filmed for the world to see. So we feel guilty because the world has seen our shame. And not because we feel guilty that racism is systemic, and that is what the foundation of America is really all about. We don't feel guilty about that. We just feel guilty that we've been seen with our pants down, and it looks really bad and shady to the world. So we're going to do something about it. Mm-hmm. Voila, DEI. So for the past 5 years, many corporations and companies in America have instituted DEI programs, universities, colleges, schools. From the federal level all the way down to the city level, DEI was implemented for 5 years. Okay? And this happened under the Trump administration, right? Right. Fast forward to late 2024, now 2025, where you have hundreds of companies, corporations, colleges, universities, even on the federal and state level here in Florida. Okay, last year, DEI programs were canceled. There is no DEI in Florida. What did DeSantis say? Florida is the free state. Florida is where woke comes to die. Okay? We can have a conversation about what woke really is, but in essence, he was correct. He was absolutely correct when he made that statement that Florida is where woke has come to die, because all of the programs that were created to give African Americans and other minorities a lift up have been systematically or systemically chopped down, along with gerrymandering and other, things going on that have to do with black voter suppression and whatnot, which is a whole different conversation. However, from the federal level to the state level to the city level, DEI was implemented in 2020 up until the last months of 2024. And now here we are into 2025. Not quite into 2025, but we're almost 30 days in. 30 days into 2025. And here we are with no DEI. Now, a lot of Black people are upset. Okay. And yes, we should be upset. We are upset. We should be upset. Black women, we tried to tell y'all that this was getting ready to happen, but nobody listened. But what I want to know is, where is the white women? Where is the National Organization of Women? Where are all the feminist organizations? Because DEI disproportionately affected you. You, white woman. You were the main beneficiary of DEI too. Isn't that really interesting how white women benefited from the civil rights era, from the equal rights opportunity era, from acts, from affirmative action? White women reaped the benefits of all of those things, including DEI. But I haven't heard not one influential white woman stand up and say anything against it, against the cancellation of DEI. Let me give you a little background on how white women have benefited from DEI. Let's talk about it. Listen, in 2022, a McKinsey and Company study found that white women held 63% of DEI leadership roles. However, racial and ethnic minority women only held 4% of C-suite positions. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? White women, where are you? Why aren't you upset? Why aren't you in the streets protesting and talking about this every single day? Why aren't you guys on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter X and Instagram and Facebook? Why aren't you guys enraged? Why? Why? I don't understand it. I don't understand. But maybe in a way, I do understand. White women, when we were saying that people were voting against their interests, white women were voting their interests. When white women as a group voted for 45, now 47, 34-time convicted felon Donald Trump, when they voted for Donald Trump, you know what they voted for? Not the price of eggs going down. They didn't vote for that. They voted for white supremacy. Because even though these programs that Black bodies have given up their lives for, even though those programs disproportionately benefited them and not us, white women still feel as if they have the upper hand. And how is that? Because they are the wives, girlfriends, and mistresses of the white patriarchy. So even though the white patriarchy of white supremacy wants white women to stay home, be in the kitchen, have babies, and uh, um, help to swell the white population here in the United States, even though white women know that, they cool with it. They cool with it. They cool with it because it all benefits them. It will continue to benefit them because they will still have the power over us, the power over Black people and minorities in this country. So yes, DEI, affirmative action, civil rights era laws and legislation. Yes, yes, yes. White women benefited from that greatly, but you don't see them out in the streets talking about it, talking about what a travesty it is that those things ended, that affirmative action ended, even though they were the prime recipients of it. You don't see them out in the streets because they believe that the true key to their success, generational wise, is to continue to prop up white supremacy. That's why that Pete Hegseth, he was confirmed to be the head of the Department of Defense. And we all know that Pete Hegseth said he doesn't feel women should be in the military. And let's just break that down real quick. White women, there's more white women in positions, key positions in the military other than white women. I mean, Black women. White women populate that. Black women maybe have what, 1%, less than 1% of high-ranking statuses within the military. But the rest of that, the chunk of that pie, goes to white women. So why aren't white women out in the streets protesting Pete Hegseth being the the head of the Defense Department? Besides the fact that he's unqualified, but the fact remains that he wants women, white women, to not be in the military at all. But I don't hear any white women protesting that because white women are happy to prop up white supremacy, regardless of what they may say. Some may say on social media, they may act as if, oh, we don't like it. We're not down with what's going on. We're liberals. We didn't vote for Trump. It doesn't matter. The mass majority of white women voted for Trump because they voted for white supremacy. They voted their interests. They voted their interests. And so now that all of these civil rights era policies are going to the wayside, what are white women going to do now? I guess white women believe that they're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it until they can't. Hence the suffrage movement, hence the women's movement of the 1960s and 70s. I guess it might be time for that in another 20, 25 years when white women get tired of being back in the kitchen, so to speak, or back in the bedrooms, propped up having babies, being subservient to white men, because that's what's really happening in this country. When we talk about white supremacy, we're also talking about the elevation of white men. And in order to elevate white men, white women have to become subservient again. White women can't be burning bras and being rah, rah, rah out here in these streets, because white men want their country back. That's what Make America Great Again is all about. And every white woman who voted for Trump, 45, now 47, 34-time convicted felon, Donald J. Trump, every white woman who voted to have him in office voted to be subservient to the regime of authoritarianism, which is going to have them subjugated or underfoot. Because authoritarianism doesn't work if the white woman is helping to co-sponsor it. White supremacy and authoritarianism works when the white man is in charge and everyone else is underneath. White women are the handmaids. White women, your duty will be to increase the population. Increase the white population. That's going to be your goal. And eventually, white women are not going to like it. They're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I didn't sign up for this. There's so much more to me. I am intelligent. I am educated. I went to Sarah Brown. I went to Harvard. And soon, white women, when you are accepted into a college that's not a women's college, you will only be able to major in what? Liberal arts. The same liberal arts that white supremacy is trying to get rid of, you'll only be able to enroll in that. Homemaking, teaching, those things. That's what you'll be doing. And you're going to get mad about it in about 20 years or so, 20 years. You're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I got all these degrees and all I'm doing is chairing charity events and hosting dinners and luncheons at my neighborhood social club. Because that's what you'll be doing. But you know how white women were able to survive and then decide, later on to say, you remember how white women really survived that whole era where they were just totally under the thumb of the white patriarchy, of white supremacy, of their husbands and fathers and sons. The way they were able to survive that is because they were surrounded by Black women. They employed Black women. They abused Black women. Black women were in their kitchens. Black women were in cleaning their houses. Black women were helping them birth their babies. Black women were sexing up the husbands. Black women were the ones that was raising the babies. That's how white women survived when white supremacy was in full force, when white supremacy was strong, when white supremacy and the white patriarchy was really, totally, truly the law of the land. That's where white women were, subservient. I guarantee you that white women are quiet because they know what's happening. They know what's happening. But they feel that everything's going to be okay because they think that their Black counterparts, that we're going to come to their rescue. Yeah, I might have to be at home. Like, what was that lady name on The Handmaid's Tale? I can't think of her name. What was the colonel's wife name in The Handmaid's Tale? What was her name? Let's find out. I'm typing it up right now. Okay, let's see. Cast. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Serena. Serena Joy. Remember how smart Serena was? I mean, Serena basically was the architect. She was the one that was coming up with all the ideas for this new utopia for Gilead. Remember? For the new America. And then the white patriarchy, which her husband was a part of, just, totally pushed white women down into a subservient role. A subservient role. That's what happened. And what was her husband's name? The commander. Yes, the commander. His name was no, he was just a commander. And so Serena Joy, she was smart, she was intelligent, she had degrees. But when white supremacy ruled its ugly head and said, we taking over the law of the land, and Serena was like, yes, let's do it, guess where she found herself at? She did. Mm-hmm. Yes, she did. But the way she got off was by being intimidating and abusive to other women that were in a different class than she was. And that's what made her feel powerful. Made her feel like a woman, made her feel strong, made her feel relevant. She prospered off of the pain of other women. But that was her end game. That's what she wanted, right? Until she didn't want it anymore. But that's what she wanted. That's exactly what she wanted. So I'm guessing that, real life, is a little stranger than fiction. Because what's getting ready to happen is that white women, you guys are getting ready to go to the back of the line again. Is that what's getting ready to happen? All of your intelligence and talent and degrees won't mean a thing. Now that affirmative action is gone, now that DEI has gone, because remember, you guys were the beneficiaries of that. We never truly benefited as Black people. We only made very, very small gains percentage wise when it came to the usage of affirmative action and DEI for us. You guys would have been beneficiaries. You guys won. But it looks like you guys won't be winning for long. It looks like things are about to change in this country. And if you are thinking, white women, my white women sisterins, if you're thinking that Black women are going to come to your rescue this time, you got another thing coming, because we not coming. We are not coming. We are not helping. We're just watching. So this has been another episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, and I'm your girl Nell. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you go ahead and do so. And think about becoming a sustainable member of the channel. If you would like to get the conversation started, you can do so down in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Do you think that The Handmaid's Tale is about to visit white women in this country? What you think? And Why do you think white women are not out in the streets protesting and screaming and hollering and demanding that affirmative action and DEI and all of those great things from the legislation from the civil rights era? Why aren't white women in the streets screaming for those things to come back? Especially when it has disproportionately benefited them. What you think about that? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to finish my crocheting. And I'm going to, I really, as far as that's concerned, as far as what my thoughts are on it, I've already told you what my thoughts are. But you let me know what you think. And white women, if you happen to have watched all of this video, why don't you drop down in the comment section and you tell us, why is it that y'all not in the streets en masse? Why aren't you guys protesting the end of DEI? Affirmative action. Where y'all voices at? Cause I'm baffled. So I will see you next time. Stay tuned for a special Saturday episode of Nell's Tiny Studio this week. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.